Principles are in place at Camp David, Maryland. It is assumed the first work of the Middle East Summit will come sometime this morning. President Carter, President Sadat of Egypt, Prime Minister Begin of Israel, apparently all passed up any discussions last night in favor of a full night's rest. Judy Woodruff has a late report.
This is the American Legion Hall in Thurmont, Maryland, where press headquarters have been set up for the duration of the summit. 6 miles from here at Camp David, President Carter is probably already up, perhaps reviewing the meeting he had last night with Prime Minister Begin and preparing for a meeting later this morning with President Sadat. Yesterday, when Mr. Sadat arrived at Camp David, he appeared to be in excellent spirits, but the Egyptian president had spent the large part of the day flying from Europe, so the schedule was arranged to give him time to rest last night, postponing any serious talk until today. About 2 hours after Sadat had arrived, the helicopter carrying Israeli Prime Minister Begin landed at Camp David, and once again President Carter came out personally to greet it. When he had arrived in Washington, Mr. Begin had suggested, as he has before, that he will consider this Middle East summit a success if it paves the way for the negotiating process to continue, in contrast to Sadat's statement that the summit itself may be the last hope for peace. These first meetings, we have been told, are private, between just Mr. Carter and Mr. Begin last night and just Mr. Carter and Mr. Sadat this morning. It's assumed that the 3 men will get together for the first time later today, but that's not been confirmed. So far, at least, President Carter has gotten his wish that the news coming out of Camp David be kept to a minimum. That clearly is frustrating for the hundreds of reporters who've come from all over the world to cover this meeting. But Mr. Carter thinks it's necessary to provide the kind of isolation that may produce an agreement between 2 men that they could not reach any other way. Judy Woodruff, NBC News, Thurmont, Maryland.
In the second day of the trial of American businessman Jay Crawford in Moscow, the Soviet